Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Senderak again, and I am back with the second page. It would actually be the front of the second page of the week 2 math packet. This is the Monday part at the top. If you just look and make sure that it says week 2 and Monday, whether you are working in Google Doc or Google Classroom or in the printed out packet, as long as these two things match, you are good to go and in the right place. So let's get started. You will notice that these, if you watch the video or already did the first page, these problems are going to be very similar each week. That's why we like them. So you are going to express the ratio in 3 different ways, gray to the total this time. So last time it was gray to white. This time it's gray to total. So your top number is going to be how many gray there are. Your bottom number will be how many total, since it asked for total. Make sure you read that closely each week. So writing your expression 3 different ways. If you're in Google Classroom, you will use the / as your fraction bar. The second question on Monday is use an integer to describe the situations. So that just means you're writing a number, either positive or negative, to describe the situation. So if you have 5 degrees below 0, how would you write that? And then 32 degrees above 0. So think of it as like how we would write temperature. Question number 3, write an expression to represent 6 more than y. 6 more than y. We're not talking about any equal groups in that problem, just 6 more than y. Question number 4, list all the factors. Factors are the numbers that you multiply to get a product. So the numbers that you multiply, all the numbers that you can multiply to get 5, you'll have 2 of them, because every number has a factor of 1 and itself, so you'll have at least 2, probably more. And then list the factors for 10. You're going to start with 1 and 10, and then there'll be some in between. And then you're going to circle the GCF, the greatest common factor. So the biggest number that you find in common between those 2 lists. The second part of this question is list 5 multiples and circle the LCM. So multiples, if I were to say the multiples of 2, I would say 2, 4, 6, 8. So when you list the multiples, you're going to list 5 of them, and then you're going to circle the least, the smallest number that they have in common, the smallest number that appears on both lists. Question number 5, this one's a little tricky. It's 1 44/100 divided by 3/10. Now, when we divide with decimals, we need to move our decimal here on the outside, and which means we're going to move it in there also. Your decimal floats straight up top, and then you just solve the problem how you normally would. So now you would have, if you wanted to rewrite it, you would have the problem 14.4 divided by 3. You cannot have a decimal out here. And then remember the order of operations, or I'm sorry, not the order of operations, the steps for division: divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? And then just repeat those steps. Let's go back. And then the next one is 3.6 divided by, 3.6 times 4.2. You don't have to worry about lining up decimals or anything when you're multiplying. You do need to make sure when you're done that you include the same number of decimal places in your answer as you have in your original problem. So we have how many decimal places? 1, 2. So our answer should have 2 decimal places as well. And we'll put our decimal there. All right, on to the bottom half. Tuesday, problem 1, $33 for 11 pounds of meat. You're going to write that as a rate using these numbers. Dollars usually go on top, or your money goes on top. And then the unit rate, which again means 1, how much it would cost for 1. Problem number 2 on Tuesday. Exponent form, expanded form, and standard form. Remember, exponents. We haven't done a whole lot of these yet on these worksheets. This does not mean 2 times 3. If I, or for my expanded form, I'm multiplying 2 by itself 3 times. See if I can write it in here. So this would be 2 times 2 times 2. For standard form, that would be your answer to that problem. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 would give you 8 for your standard form. So you need to do that for all 3 of these. Question number 3, what percent, or 3 is what percent of 10? And again, filling in. We do not know on this one, we don't know our part percent, but we do know our part and our whole. 3 is what percent of 10, and then you can use cross multiplication right there, get an answer, take that answer up here, and do the opposite, which would be division, to find your missing number. Question number 4. Sebastian carried a half liter of water on a hike. He drank 2/3 of the water. So if he drank some, that means it's not there anymore. He took it away, right? So how much water did he drink? The first thing you're going to need to do is get those 2 fractions to have common denominators. So we have 1/2 and we have 2/3. And to be able to find how much he drank, we need to get them to have, let's do that in green. We need to get them to have common denominators so we can perform that problem to find how much he has left. So whatever you do, remember, whatever you do to your denominator to get them to match, you're going to multiply. You have to do that same problem to your numerator, and then you can do your work using those fractions with like denominators. And I believe, yep, that's it for that one. So how much did he drink? And your answer will be a fraction for this problem. And then the last one, write an equation to describe the relationship in each table. That's, you're finding the function. What is happening when we put numbers into the x? How does it come out a y? What do I do to 2 to get it to become a 7? Once you have an idea, try it on the rest of these, substitute it in, see if it works. And if so, you will know what your equation is. You will have an equation that is y equals something. It'll be x, then something is happening to x. Maybe you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and then by how much. Y equals x, maybe y equals x minus 4. That's not the right answer though, but that's an example of what your answer would look like. And you're going to do the same thing for this problem over here. You're starting with 0. How do you get to 3? What do you do from 1 to get to 4? So you will have y equals, and then an operation happening with the variable x. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask your teachers. I hope this video helped you out.